Welcome to Boog's Beauty Room. I'm Boog. The purpose of this channel is to focus on all things beauty. I truly believe we all be beautiful inside and out. Today, I'm going to walk you through some makeup. I am definitely a makeup enthusiast. I have quite a bit of makeup and skincare products. Do get ready with me and share some of the products that I'm currently using. So if you're interested in watching, stay tuned. So first I like to start off with moisturizer. I've already moisturized my face with the Drunk Elephant Protein Polypeptide Cream. This is something that I use daily, but I also have combination skin. So that means I'm oily in my T-zone and pretty much normal around the perimeter of my face. So one of the products that I use on my pores is the MAC Skin Refine Zone, just in the pore area to kind of minimize those pores. Be a little bit of a pain. As you can see, I do have some hyperpigmentation and discoloration, some acne, scarring, a couple of moles. The other thing that I really like to use is Peter Thomas Roth Skin to Die For primer. I typically use that in my chin area because I have some texture on my chin. A little bit on my forehead right here. And down the bridge of the nose. And next, I like to use the Milk Hydro Grip Primer in the mini size. I wanted to test it out before I purchased the full size. So I'm gonna put that on the perimeter of my face. Work that in my hands and work that everywhere where I didn't put the other primers. So next, on to foundation. I did get a sample of the new McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime foundation. So I think I might want to try that in the shade medium 20. So I do have a tan, and I'm just going to dot a little bit on my face here, some on the forehead, chin, and a tiny bit on the nose. I think I'm going to use a brush to work this product down. So typically, I like my coverage to be medium to full. But I noticed that in the summertime, if I need long wearing foundation for an event, then typically I would prefer, something a little more matte that's going to be more long wearing. This foundation is pretty lightweight and skin-like. Take a little bit more because I want a little more coverage here, is to take a little bit and dot that in the areas where I want to have a little more coverage, which is around the mouth and the nose area, the center of the face. So now I'm going to blend that in. And once I blend, we'll go in with concealer as needed. But as you can see, it's pretty much a skin-like finish. Now, I am not a professional makeup artist. I'm just a makeup enthusiast and enjoy not only looking at makeup and skincare, but also testing it, reviewing it, and then trying it out. So right now I think that's pretty good coverage. I will touch up with some concealer to put a little on the ears there so that they match. I recently cut my hair. I had close to shoulder length hair and decided a short, curly, natural hairstyle that I wanted. And my hairstylist actually cut it for me. Right now, I do have some dark circles under my eyes and also some indentation here. So I want to just go on and put a little bit of concealer there. That will help to get rid of the dark circle. And this product is the NYX Dark Circle Concealer Corrector. This is my first time trying this product, so we'll see how it looks under my makeup and how well it conceals my dark circles. I also have a little bit of discoloration at the top of my lip, so we'll try that and see how that works. And so what I want to do is blend with my brush, and this brush is the It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Complexion brush. I want to blend this in with the concealer in. Now we're going to blend on the other side like so. Looks pretty good so far. For concealer, I think I want to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way Multi Sculpting Concealer in the shade Honey. I've used this quite a bit. I put it down the sides of my nose. I'll put it here, a little there, and some here on my forehead. So will start to blend that out. And this is the Sonia Kashuk sponge. It comes in a set, multi-pack set. Get that right under the eye here. I know it might look a little light, but I'm going to go back in with Tarte Shape Tape Tan Sand on the lids as my eyeshadow base. This is something that I've used for quite a while, and I'm just going to take the Beauty Blender and just put it right across the eye here. And then we're going to go back in and set the under eye. I typically like to bake, and I always do my brows last. Well, not last, but towards the end of my routine. In this, I won't set the lid, but I will set my under eyes with the Laura Mercier. Right there, and I'll leave that there while I get ready to do my eyeshadow. I like that. Lightly. So, what eyeshadow shall we put on today? I have the new Jackie Aina Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. It is so beautiful with this iridescent box. When you look at the palette, this is the inner packaging. It is so beautiful with the snakeskin print. So we are going to try it. I just got this in the mail the other day. I did swatch the palette, and now we're going to actually test it. I'm so excited for Jackie Aina. I've been a long time fan of hers. I love watching her channel. She cracks me up. Whenever I feel down or kind of upset, I make sure that I stay tuned to watch her videos. So this is what the actual palette looks like, and then on the inside of the palette looks like. Beautiful. It has the full-size mirror. It also has a dual-ended brush, and we're going to get ready and get into an eye look. I'm not really sure which colors I want to use, if I should go bold or if I should do something that's a little more neutral. It is Credit Lituation sponsored and ginger. I think I want to do something with those colors. So I'm going to take my Smith 230 brush, dip it into Credit, and tapping off the excess. I'm going to start in the crease. I have a slight hood, so I like to lift my eyebrows like so, line up my brush with the actual socket. I like to get a little closer so you can see. Then working in circular motions and windshield wiper motions to lay that ginger color down in the crease as my transition shade. And I can build that color up. I know that this palette is highly pigmented and made for our melanin rich folks. which is one of the reasons why I wanted to pick up this palette. Because sometimes, even on my medium tan skin, sometimes some shadows don't show up. They are sometimes ashy. As you can see here, that color builds up nicely. I haven't added any additional products to this eye, but I think I will, just to make sure that it's even in sort of depth with the right eye. I want to bring that color up a little bit. Not too far to the brow, but up a little bit and out. Here we go. It's very pretty. Very pretty brown for a transition. Let's see. Nice. So what I want to do is to bring that color under the lash line. That's all. That's ginger. I look silly with my mouth open like that, but just to bring, I think I might want to blow that out. That was the Morphe M405. I think I want to take the Morphe M506 and dab that in to ginger and just blow that out under the lash line so we can get that color blending pretty well. That looks really good. I'm gonna go back to that Smith 230 and make sure that that's all blended in seamlessly. Let's see here. I think I want to take credit and sponsored. So I'm gonna take credit with the M441 and dip into credit. This is gonna be pretty much a smoky eye. This brown looks so chocolatey and just pretty. I guess like a plum brown. I want to put that right in my outer V and just work that up into the crease. I'm dipping very lightly and tapping off because with pigmented colors, I don't want there to be a big splotch of dark color that's difficult to blend. I've had plenty of practice with raccoon eyes, and that's not a look I want to go for today. So I'm just bringing that a little bit lower and just in that outer V, doing small circles, blending up. Now I blend pretty well on the right eye, but I always struggle with my left. So I'm going to dip into credit and work on that outer V. Circulars, inward circles to make that V up into the crease. Bring that down a little bit on the edge and out a little into those inner circles. Let's see how that looks. Looks similar. Just keep blending. One of the issues I used to have, and sometimes do, it depends on what I'm doing and how I'm feeling, is the blending. But this is looking pretty good. I'm trying to think, do I want to go a little more smoky? Maybe just a bit. I'll tap in a little bit, just go back in and just make that a little more defined, add a little more depth to that color, because I want to see how the color Sponsored, which I believe is a duochrome, how that will look across the lid. And blend that upwards Try to smoke that a little bit more. And that V is very pretty. Looking pretty even. Bring that down a little bit on the sides. And then I'll go back in with the M506 and just try to connect that under the bottom lash line here. Continuity on the side. Bring a little depth to that smokiness. And then I'm going to take the Smith 232, which is the large brush, and with no product on it, and just blend. Blend to smooth out, you know, any areas that might need an extra blend. And just bring that in a little bit. Smooth that out. Very pretty. On to Sponsored. I was thinking about whether I should do Lituation or this duochrome. Ooh, look at that shit. So what I'm doing is taking that color Sponsored and just adding that to the lid. I'm not taking it all the way in because I think what I want to do, can you see that pretty shift there? Is add a little extra sparkle to the inner corner, but I want to bring it pretty close. Now for the other eye, let's try here. Jackie, you did something here, girl. Ooh, look how beautiful that looks. Right to that plummy brown. I think I'm gonna go back in with the Smith 230 brush, a little bit into Credit and a little bit into Ginger, and just outline that to give it a little more depth, to clean up around that edge there. Maybe I'll put a little bit of Lituation down on the bottom. That deepened it up, smoked it. Go in with a little bit more. Make a peak pencil brush and go into Soleil, right into the inner corner. Ooh, that's pretty. Brighten up that inner corner. And bring it around. Right next to Lituation on the lower lash line. Put a little bit of Soleil on the eyebrow arch. Ooh, pretty. And then on the other eye. Now what we're going to do is dust off this bake and then finish up the rest of our complexion. What we're going to do now is bronze in contour. So I'm going to use the Fenty Matchstix in Truffle, and I use this to contour. And then what I usually do is take a little bit with Sephora all over shader and just give myself a little bit of a nose contour. Try to snatch that nose a little bit. Now I'm going to take a Real Techniques sculpting brush. Blend it in on the jawline and at the temples. Bring some color back into the face, right up into that hairline, and bring it up. And then again, along the jawline. Move that earring out the way, and then across on the forehead. feels weird doing things with the left hand when I'm a righty. So I like to blend this right up into the hairline, sculpt to the face, and down the chin area. On to the Sephora number 55 Pro Airbrush for bronzer, and then I have the Fenty Beauty Bajan Gyal. So I just take a little bit. You don't need that much of this. And just bronze in the forehead area and the temples. Brought instant warmth to the skin. Now on the cheekbones to bronze up those cheeks. A little up under here. Riri, you did something, girl. Oh, I'm loving these eyes. Oh my gosh, I'm just loving this duochrome shift. Oh, it's just beautiful. Oh, what I forgot to do earlier was to use my Sephora Micro Smooth in the shade Tan 35 and just set the bottom of my face under where I set my concealer. Let's do brows. So I'm taking the Benefit Precisely My Brow in the shade 4.5. And so after getting them waxed, I just like to
outline them.
Just outline them very lightly. And then just fill in where it's a little sparse. Sometimes I use the Gimme Brow to give my brow more definition. But I definitely believe in brows are sisters, not twins, because I can never get the lines straight. I usually have to do quite a bit of finagling with a brow to make sure it looks pretty similar to the other one. One of the big problems I have is that I'm rather heavy-handed, so I'm always trying to pull back on my brushes and on my pencils so that I'm not making too harsh of a line in my brows. So I'm just filling in that head of the brow where my hair is sparse and kind of just does whatever it wants to. And then I'm going to take the spoolie through the end and just comb through it to sort of lighten up that precision work. And I just comb through the brow just to even it up. Brush the hairs in an upward motion. I might put a little Gimme Brow in the tail. So I do use the Benefit Gimme Brow. It's also in the shade 4.5. And then just go through the middle and the tail, just to give the hairs a little more depth and definition. So I don't add any additional product onto the applicator. I just take it through the other brow because I feel like it's more than enough there. So I just bring that through like those. And then I let that dry. Go in with the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. I really enjoy using this applicator because it has the long combs and also the shorter combs. And I like to use the flat end to deposit the gel on, and then I just comb the brows right where I want them, and they stay. Love this. Thanks to Mel Thompson for recommending this, and as soon as I purchased it, I fell in love because it keeps my brows in place. It doesn't flake, which I really love. I used to use another brow gel, but towards the end of the workday, it would definitely start to flake. So I'm liking these brows and surprised that they look this good on. Now on to blush. I have the two ColourPop times Shayla Under Construction blushes. I have the one in Construct, which is this pretty brownish color, and then I also have the Whistle While You Work, which is the pink, which I think might be a little too bright. Also have the Patrick Star I'm Not Blushing Duo, which I use quite a bit. I love it. This sort of like peachy pinky brown shade that looks really good. So maybe what I'll do is mix the two of these and see what kind of brush look we get. I use the Real Techniques multitask brush, and I'm gonna start with the Shayla blush and Construct and just apply that to the cheekbones. It gives you nice color. Work that right up into, and just work that up on the other side. Just very nice. just sort of melts right into that bronzer. And then for Patrick's Duo, I just take and swirl my brush in and then add that to the sides. Nice blush. Looking good. Let's just even that up a little bit. Going to quickly give the face a spray with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, just to melt that in. So we're going to let that dry. Face is looking pretty good. For highlight, I think I'm going to use one of my Holy Grail Anastasia Beverly Hills Times and Reezy highlighter. So pretty. So I'm just going to take my Sephora Pro highlight, number 98, and just right on the sides. Right on that cheekbone and up on the temple. Just glide that highlight right there. Ooh, how pretty. It doesn't have to be blinding to make an impact. I love this highlighter. Now you see it, now you don't. Now you see it, now you don't. I used to wear this to work a lot, and so many people would ask me, what is that on your face? I'm like, oh, that's my highlighter. Put a little on that Cupid's bow there, a little on the chin. One of the powders that I use to buff is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Radiant Light. So this is what it looks like. And I use my Real Techniques powder brush, swirl it, and just buff. Buff in that highlights. It also gives that pretty glow to the skin. Now, I know you're probably wondering, well, those eyes aren't quite done yet, and I would agree. One of the things that I struggle with is eyeliner application. I do not have very steady hands, but today I'm going to try to apply some liquid eyeliner and then also false lashes. So work on getting this liner. So I'm going to scooch up. Let's dip into this Inkwell Makeup Geek bent liner brush. I'm going to start at the crease of the eye and just work my way up and draw a line there. And then I'm going to look down into your mirror, draw a line. I might need a little bit more product on the brush. There we go. We have our line there. And then what I'm going to do is take that tip and then go towards the middle of the eyelid. So far, so good. I'm just going to fill that line in just a bit. Come back over and bring that line in. Get some more liner there. Clean that up a little bit. And bring that line over. And just fill that line in. And make sure that line is nice and crisp. And then work that product liner right across the lid, nice and thin. And this line will help to conceal the lashes if the lash band is thick, and it's nice and thin to the corner. Not too bad. I'm going to take that line. Is that a little longer? A little longer. To connect that and start to fill in here. Not too bad so far. For the left eye, take that brush. Don't mind me with these watery eyes. So we're going to take this as close to the lash line. What we're going to do here is just come lightly, carefully, work that liner down. Like we did on the other side. Maybe I could straighten up that line a little bit. Take most of the product off the brush. Straighten up this line. Bring that down and connect it. Okay, my favorite mascara right now is the Benefit Bad Girl Bang mascara because of the applicator is thicker on the bottom and a little thinner towards the tip. So I can apply my mascara before we put on the falsies. Now my lashes are straight. I don't curl them because they don't curl. I have eyelash curlers, but it's pretty much a waste of time. So I don't typically curl them. And I have some sparse areas within my lashes as well, especially on the left side. I really like this mascara. Just applied 2 coats. It almost looks like I have lashes on now, and that's just with the mascara and the liner. I do have my lash applicator, my callus lash glue. Today we're going to be putting on the Sephora Collection number 24 Demure lashes. I like these lashes because they're tapered. They're longer on the outside and shorter on the inside. So for my eye shape, those lashes definitely fit my face and do well for my eye shape. I don't usually wear false lashes unless I'm going somewhere fancy, which is one of the reasons why I don't have too much practice, but I plan to remedy in the near future. Sometimes when you take the lashes off, they lose a bit of their shape. Take them off really gently. So now I have the lash. See how that will look. Just laying on top of my lash. Doesn't look like I need to trim the lash either. I like the brush on glue better than like the tubes because it's too difficult to get the glue on. One tip that I learned was to put more glue on the inner and outer edge of the lash, and then to let the glue get tacky and then apply. As you can see, I'm going to take my mirror and look down into it and place the lash right at the base of my placing the lash. I want to make sure that it sticks to the middle part of my lash. I'm going to bring it over and make sure it's connected. Let's see how this feels. And we apply the lash like so. Make sure that the lash line, and then we're going to press them together. But I want to try to make sure. Take the Milk Makeup Gel Liner Pencil in the color CEO. Gonna go right over that lituation. Some mascara on the lower lash line. I like this thin applicator. My lower lashes are pretty sparse, but nonetheless. Oh, there's a tear. Dab this eye. I've got BFF3 lip liner from ColourPop. It's a pretty neutral brown. I like to fill the lip in just a little bit. ColourPop times Olive Cerise Sueno de Coco Ultra Matte Lip. I think this is such a pretty color. Nice and nude. I'm trying to debate whether I should go over it with BFF4, which is also ColourPop times Makeup Shayla. Just around the edges. to make the lip line a little more pronounced. And then this Pat McGrath's Luster Gloss in Faux Real. I pretty much use this gloss every single day. You don't need much. Maybe a little bit more. Right in the center. Now that lips are applied, we're going to go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter, a setting spray. We're going to take the Beauty Blender and just pat that in, just to let that sink in. And this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed today's video as well as this makeup look and tutorial. Thank you. Take care.